So hopefully this works, and hopefully I can. I think it's really hard to hold the touchpad because it's much larger than my phone. So if you suffered through the other live, I really apologize, and I really appreciate you for being here and coming in over here. Just going through YouTube and not StreamYard, it does make it a little bit more difficult to read the comments. So I don't know, Dexter sees something out front and it is driving him bonkers. So anyways, as promised, we are going to be doing a quick tour of the garden, and I'm gonna come over here, and I showed you the other peony in the other, well, you probably didn't even see it. Who knows if you even saw it. So here are my beautiful peonies. They are just starting to bloom. These ones just opened up yesterday. So they're doing really good. They're so pretty. So I don't know what everybody saw or how far I got in the video. Hopefully you can actually see what's happening. It's not glitchy, and you can hear me all at the same time, which is the whole point of a live, right? Clear. Oh, thank you. Hey, Renaissance Grandma, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming back, Deb. Yeah. So, oh, right on cue. We have a lovely bird chirping, and so the irises are done. They were blooming last week, and they were stunning. And then this week we get the peonies and the poppy. So this is my only disappointment right now, is the fact that my peonies, which are a gorgeous pink color, and my poppies, which are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at the detail in these plants, like just so amazing. But they look terrible together. And when I started the seeds, so this is their second season, I think. When I started the seeds, I had no idea they would bloom at the same time. And I don't remember if they bloomed at the same time last year and I complained about this or not, but that's what's happening right now. So I'm a little disappointed. And I'm also disappointed I forgot to put my peony ring on this one. So it's starting to blow out. But hopefully it will be able to support itself. Some of these blooms are just enormous. I mean, look at that. Just gorgeous. Hey, G Mama, how are you? Yeah, I don't know. I just find it very jarring. But, oh well. And then I have these two. So I'm wishing, so this is, I think, the Gwen. I'm not sure. But I'm wishing I had planted this one closer to the poppies. They would go really well together. And this is my hibiscus. I have never seen a hibiscus growing so quickly in the spring. Like, that's crazy. So that was my summerific hibiscus from Proven Winners that I planted last year because I had to replace mine that died. And my lupins, these ones are just kind of midway through. We've got lots more blooms coming. This one's just about finished, the purple ones. And it looks like my daisies are just going to be starting soon. So I got Shasta daisies. I got tons of lupins that self-seeded that I had to come through, and I pulled out hundreds of lupin seedlings and calendula seedlings. This section I left some of them, and I have a bunch of poppies that I sprinkled. I have no idea which ones they are. So we'll see when they bloom which poppies I sprinkled last year. I don't remember. I have some lilies here. And then my status. So I have status here. I'm trying to do wavy drifts. That was the goal. So I have some status here that's blooming. Let's get in a little closer. Isn't this so cute? But like, there's like white ones on there. Isn't that weird? So this status is doing really well. This one's just starting to bloom too. And you can see there's just calendula everywhere tucked in here. It's self-seeded. The gomphrena is doing really well. And then I have some scabiosa, some feverfew. And then over there, I've planted a few other little tiny things. You can't really see them yet. They'll come in. Here's my roselle. These things, I've had blooms on them, like at least one bloom every day. Like, it's blooming like crazy. Here's my hollyhocks. This is their 3rd year, I think. And this will be their 1st year to bloom. So I don't know. The 1st year they didn't do anything hardly. They were so tiny. And then now this year they're just loaded with buds. So hopefully they'll be blooming pretty soon. That will be really exciting. And then my Wigelia is barely alive down there. We transplanted it 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And it was really big, and now I had to chop it all down. So I don't know. And then over here we have a bunch of veggies. So I've planted a bunch in here. This is a bunch of 4 o'clocks and some calendula and some alyssum, because I did find enough alyssum to do my alyssum border, which I'm very excited about. Then in here, this is my edible chrysanthemum, which is enormous. I put a couple cannas in here, and then my borage is going bonkos. Okay, don't look behind it. This is here to screen that section behind it. Also, my rhubarb. So we were going to be having a rhubarb video soon, because this is going to be ready. And we got some cream, so I can make some ice cream. Right, Dex? And then here I have some garden huckleberries. We have squash and zucchini. Well, one of these is squash and one of them zucchini. I can't remember which is which. Tasmanian chocolate dwarf tomatoes in there and there. And then I have Usaka and an Armenian cucumber. The goal for them is to climb. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, looks like I'm still going to have to film a garden tour video, because this has been an absolute disaster. So anyone that has stayed through this long, I super appreciate it. And hopefully you get to enjoy these absolutely beautiful Sweet Williams, which are in their 4th season. We dumped a bunch of seed down in 2020 from the dollar store, and it was supposed to fill this whole area. And we got a big rainstorm come right when they were done, when I planted them out, and all the seeds ended up here. And they are super happy and super crowded. So I have just ignored all spacing on seed packages. So anyways, I apologize for the disastrous lives this morning. Now you know why I just do them on the computer up in the office, because then I don't have to deal with any of this nonsense. But the garden is finally planted. It's finally done. Spinning, spinning. Oh no. Spinning, spinning. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, one other thing. I've never had cosmos blooming this early in the season, or this tiny. Like, that plant's not even a foot tall. Like, normally they get to be like 2-3 feet tall before they start blooming. So I don't know what's going on. Hey, welcome in, Roxana. You finally caught it when it's not spinning or crashing or or whatever. But these Sweet Williams are divine. They're just absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a video tour, because this is just ridiculous. I'm so sorry. This is why I don't do things on my phone. Like, I always just use a regular video camera. I'm old school that way. I have a Sony camcorder, and I use that for my videos, and I use the desktop with the webcam and all that for my lives, because this is just not working. But so yeah, I don't know who saw what, because I kept losing everybody. But the peonies are just doing fantastic. Hey, Roxana, you inspired me with all of the nasturtiums. I had 3 different kinds of nasturtiums. I had papaya mix, I had kaleidoscope, and I had climbing. So I'm really hoping that I did not accidentally put the climbing nasturtiums in the pot. That's what I'm hoping. Right, Dexter? Right? We're hoping that we put the climbing nasturtiums where they need to climb. But I'm so happy with the peonies. I wish they lasted longer than they do. And I wish that I would remember to come and cut them at marshmallow stage and then put them in the fridge, so that they're ready to use later when I have like other flowers to put into bouquets. But I never remember to do that ahead of time. So I always regret that. My calla lilies are doing pretty good though. They're coming up. So yeah, I had quite a few nasturtiums this year, so I've put them all around. I might end up pulling some of these out and just putting them into the garden just because the planter was so huge when I planted it, but everything is really filling in nicely. So it might end up being a little too crowded. I don't know. But I would rather have to take plants out than have them look too scrawny. So, okay, you know what? I'm going to pop back up on the deck and sit down for a minute. If you guys have any questions. And then, oh, look at this, my orange hat. Look how tiny these tomatoes are. So cute. So cute. If your yard isn't too flooded, we plan to take a tour. Oh, okay. That sounds awesome. All right, let me see if I can figure out how to. Hey, Dexter. Spin the camera back around. Oh my gosh, there we are. So yeah, YouTube and my phones do not get along very well. And Dexter's coming up. You gonna come up? Or are you just gonna sit there and whine? Coming up? Or you? Yeah, there we go. All right, he's up. So it feels good. It feels good to just finally have everything done. Up until yesterday, I still had like straggler plants that were down there. So I did give a few away to some friends, but I wanted to kind of make sure that, the planters I'd planted and stuff in the garden, like stuff gets stolen by some of the squirrels and whatever. So I wanted to make sure that I had leftovers, a few extras of everything to be able to tuck in if I needed to. And I kind of wanted to see if anything died, if things are filling in. So I thought about doing a live outside, but I don't have a laptop and my phone will, yeah. It will. I don't know how other people do lives with their phones all the time. I'm struggling. I have a laptop, but it's like probably 15 years old, so it probably I don't think it even works if it's not plugged in. So that wouldn't do a very good idea. I just kind of wanted to come outside. It was nice. I didn't want to be stuck in the garden. I mean, in the office showing pictures of the garden. I don't know. I just thought it would be nice to be outside and to see everything. And then Dexter can be part of it. Hey, Dex, you see? Look at it. Say hi. Say hi. No? You're just avoiding the camera? Yeah. He's happy mommy's outside too. So, and then yesterday, like I cleaned up all the, containers that I'd been using and cleared out that space. So today's the first day when I've come out, like it's done. I'm done. Which means I have to run to the store to get some bean sprouts because I'm making pad thai for lunch. And I might have to see if the Asian market's having sales yet, because last year they had some really good clearance sales. So there was some mandeville I had my eye on, and either a jasmine or a gardenia. And I may or may not have left a few plant pots full of soil on the deck without anything in them, just in case. So just because I'm almost done, that means it's time to go buy more plants. Right? So yeah, so hopefully, since the plots have been sitting there with soil in them for a while, hopefully no one will notice, when they have a plant in them. I love mandevilles, and I've struggled trying to keep them alive, overwintering, but you may hit some plant sales for your little raised bed. Yeah. Well, and this is the time to do it, right? So I have a hibiscus inside that I used to bring in and out, and I've actually managed to overwinter it, and I'm afraid to bring it out anymore. So now I need to get one for the garden. Hi, Lulu. How are you? Welcome in. I'm glad you actually caught me because this is my third. I don't know if this is the second or third live that I've done. I had to like reboot it again. So I don't know. It's been a disastrous live, but I'm actually here now and you can see the garden. Yeah, the original one was apparently really bad and sketchy, so do not recommend watching that one. But the second half of this one has been doing all right. So thank you so much for coming in. I hope you have a wonderful day. What are you sniffing? You sniffing the smoky air? Yeah. It's pretty smoky. It's not as bad as it was on Monday. Oh no. There we go. Am I back? I just had a thing pop up that said air. I don't know. Ugh, this is ridiculous. There's Dexter. He's been pretty good so far. He's jumped through a few things and ran through the beds a few times, but he hasn't really damaged anything. So yeah, Tuesday, I think Tuesday was our smokiest day that I remember. Yesterday was kind of bad in the morning, so there was like air warnings and kids weren't going out for recess and kind of thing. And then by the afternoon, it had cleared up a lot. So that's when I went out in the evening and finished planting up the rest of the cannas and the 4 o'clocks and, kind of finished off that edge of the bed over there. So I think it's going to look really nice once it fills in. I can't believe the size of some of the plants. Some things don't look that much difference, but some of them are just enormous. Some of the alyssum is just like quadrupled in size. The tomatoes are getting huge, which I don't think they're getting enough sun, but yeah, the smoke. Well, we're getting smoke from, there's fires out and out. What are you doing? Trying to get comfortable? Yeah. So there's fires all over around here. There's a bunch. Oh no, not the lips. There's a bunch in Quebec. Stop. It's not that kind of channel. Um, there's a bunch in Quebec, and then there's some out in Nova Scotia. Can you just sit, please? And then all over, right? Oh my gosh. This is another reason I do the lives upstairs in the office because Dexter's not allowed. Yeah, he's being a bit of a menace. Yes. So fortunately, you're cute. Fortunately, you're cute, right, Dex? Do you see yourself in the camera? No. He's watching an ant. He gets fascinated by watching the ants on the floor and then trying to attack them. So, yeah. So I'm gonna do my nails. Actually, that's what I was planning on doing after I make lunch. Maybe today I'm gonna paint my nails. It's my treat to myself now that the planting is finally done. I can actually paint my nails and they won't be destroyed in like super short order. So that's going on. I took all the polish off my toes and my feet look anemic. Like I always have color on my toes year round, always. And so I took it all off because I had like 3 different coats going on and they were chipping through to the other layers. It was bad. So yeah, pedicure time, I guess, and petty manny and all that. So so you're now getting the smoke from the spontaneous all at the same time fires in Canada. Yeah, I know. It's been really dry, but it is really weird. And it does make me, it's like, all these things we're trying to do, to reduce our emissions and everything. And then all of a sudden you see this, these wildflowers and you're like, oh, there goes that, like, oh, what's the point? Like, no point in steering now. Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then it's chipping through. It was really bad. I was like, I can't walk around like this anymore because it's flip flop season, right? Hey, welcome in, Wasik. How are you doing? So actually, I'm really really happy with how this plant stand has turned out. I got the stand. It was actually someone was throwing it out at the curb. So why are you chewing on the chair? What are you doing? No. Someone was throwing it out. It was all rusty. I used some trim clad and I painted it all up. And then I've used it with regular plastic hanging baskets and it never felt right. So I found these lovely ones on clearance last year at the end of the season at Walmart for, I think they were like 2 something each. And I think they look really nice on the plant stand now. It looks so much better than the plastic ones. So I'm not using any plastic hanging baskets anymore. I'm switching because I had these from before, but they were a lot bigger. These are like the 14-inch or 16-inch. They're a lot bigger and they're purple. So they didn't look right hanging on the plant stand. They were just, the scale was off and then the purple didn't look right. So um, I ended up finding the black ones and they go really well with it. Oh my gosh. Can you just relax, dude? Thank you very much, Wasik. It's been a lot of hard work. My husband this morning, he goes, I said, oh, we're finally done. He goes, that took forever. I'm like, I know. I've been at it for like 2 weeks. The first week I went like every day. So like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, full days. And then it was just really hot. So then it became more like morning and then afternoon. Hey, Jen and Steve, welcome in. And so then I was like taking breaks during the day because it was too hot. We were in the 80s and we got up to 90, I think, on that Friday. And it's too hard on the seedlings to be putting them in at that kind of heat. So then we took a break and then the temperature dropped. Sorry, I'm wincing because he's seeing a bird. I'm waiting for him to just go flying off my lap. Um, and then we just had really weird weather. It's been super cool since then. Like today it's like 60. Like I almost grabbed a sweater to come out here. It's like it's cool. And we're hoping to get some rain. We haven't had rain in like a month. So the garden really needs it. The soil is so dry. Every time I was digging anything, it's so dry. It's clay and it's just like chalk in there. So bye, Lulu. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Pray for rain. So we have a 50% chance of rain this afternoon. So I'm really, really hoping that we do get it. Um, yes, it is so much work, but so exactly. It, because my husband's like, oh, it's so much work. I said, yeah, but like yesterday I was puttering around doing stuff. And I said, yeah, but you know what? At least it's exercise. It's better than being inside, watching other people's gardening videos. Like this morning, I don't know if you saw my comment. So I get up, I'm having my coffee, I'm sitting on the couch, I'm watching Roxana Soil and Margarita's new video out about her garden being her therapy. Sorry, there's a train coming. And I'm sitting there drinking my coffee. My daughter comes down, like ready to head out for school, and she's like, "What's for lunch?" And I'm like, "Crap! I totally forgot about lunch." So I told her I'd make her a sandwich this morning. So I jumped up and I found some leftover prosciutto in the fridge, and I made her like the world's fastest sandwich. Sorry, Dexter. He's not relaxing. Yeah, you. Yeah. So I was like thinking I had all the time in the world, and I was just relaxing, doing my morning thing, and yeah, no. Oops. Oh, we got a message held for review. Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you. Okay, enough with the. Yeah, try not to do too many emojis though. Oh, sorry. Here we go. There we go. Oh, okay, Dexter. I'm gonna. You're. I'm done with you. You're done. You're done. Oh my gosh. I'm covered in fur. Come here. Covered. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Go play. No. Go get a toy. Go play. Yeah, beat it. Go beat it. You're annoying. Oh, yeah. Sorry for the sassy chat over here. I get influenced very easily for gardening things that never fails. I watch a video about the people and all of a sudden I have new projects on my own. Oh my gosh. I saw this new, it's called Victoria something poppies. So it's like my red poppies. I'll go show you guys. I don't know if everyone saw those. They are fabulous, even if they do clash with my peonies, which I'm a little sad about. But they're bright. They're like this beautiful, beautiful pink color. Not quite as, I got a hair in my mouth. Not quite as bright as the peonies, but sorry. But these are just like I have several of them already opening. They're so pretty. But there's like just, and it's like, what in the Seymour is this thing? Like they are the creepiest looking seed pods ever. But they're just gorgeous when they actually open. My husband for the last 2 months has said, "Are you sure those aren't a weed? Are you sure those aren't a weed?" Yes, I'm sure. So Laura at Garden Answer would not approve of this color combination. She was complaining this morning about hers. And it wasn't even this bright of an orange that she was going to be planting next to. So they've done really well. I think this is their 3rd year. So I was seeing that this morning, the pink ones like this. So those are going on my wish list for next year. Because the poppies are so easy. Like basically you just sprinkle them on. So what I had done last season, oh, and then this. So I sprinkled on creeping thyme. Does anyone know if this is what creeping thyme seeds look like? These little guys. Because all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, what is this that's coming up all over? And then I remembered that I had sprinkled some creeping thyme, but it's all down here. But that's because of the hill, right? So I sprinkled them everywhere. So I'm hoping it's creeping thyme. So we're going to let that get a little bit taller and that it's not like the weed amaranth that's growing everywhere. So I don't know. But some of these petunias, they've been taking it pretty hard. Just the weather has just been really weird. It was so hot and then it's been so cool and it's been dry, and there's my poor okra that I don't think is going to make it. Maybe I'll have to buy more okra at the store. I really wanted to grow okra this year, but I don't know if it's going to. Hey, no digging. No digging. Oh, so here's Dexter's greeting spots. So whenever the neighbors are out, he goes here either to this side or to this side to say hi. And then sometimes he runs along the fence to say hi to them over there, and he gets in trouble for that because he's not supposed to be over there. Right, Dex? All right, let's see if we can turn this around. It feels weird just randomly talking. Everyone's saying hi. So yeah, I've already started my wish list for 2024. So if you ever see anything in my videos that you're interested in, I do save a lot. I'm so sorry. This hair in my mouth is driving me nuts. I do save seeds. So I'll be saving seeds off of the poppies, off of pretty much anything else. So if you mention it in a video, say, hey, I would like some of those seeds. Just remind me, and I will try and remember to save you some. I forgot I was gonna show you this up here. So I did take poppy seed just off of the plant last year, and I just sprinkled it all over. And so this bed, we gotta pull out these. These are morning glories. So I do love my morning glories, but I have to weed them out all the time. So we have a poppy. It's coming up here, and then here, here, here. I just at midsummer last year when I had a poppy over there that I really liked, I shook it on. So I don't know if it's the amazing gray or if it's and I'll show you my poppy section over here. So these all self-seeded. I did not plant any of these this year. Now a couple of those over there are weeds, but most of these are poppies, and it's going to be fabulous. So I have amazing gray. I have these really pretty pink and purple in here. And then this teepee structure thing here that we maybe branches off the tree from last year, that's for the morning glory, and you'll see morning glory coming up. So this was going to get covered in morning glory. I think that's a butterfly bush that I bought. It's coming back. My hibiscus I divided is coming back, so that's exciting. And I've never seen cosmos blooming so tiny before in my life. So I planted them at the back of the garden because they're supposed to get really tall. So yeah. And I tried to be better this year about leaving walkways and walk spaces. So this side, when I've done that, I can walk anywhere the green sedum is. You can walk right on it, and then it crushes as you walk on it, but it bounces right back. So my sunflowers are doing good though. I'm excited about those. I forgot I got to replant some more seeds, drop those in. But now I just get to sit back and wait. Sit back, water, wait. My borage is over there. It's totally dwarfed by my lilac, but this is my dwarf Korean lilac, which she's almost done blooming for now. So once she's totally done, I'm gonna I prune it all the way back into like a nice little dome shape, and then she'll bloom again in the fall usually, if I prune it all the way back. So I prune it back pretty hard every year because I need it to stay tiny because my yard is so small. I just don't have room for the lilac. Even though it's a dwarf lilac, it would get fairly big if I just let it keep going. So I think this planter I'm the most excited about. It was supposed to have elephant ears. I have a sad elephant ear story. So I bought them at the end of the season last year, and I had them in a container, and they weren't doing anything. And I thought they were dead. So I think in this one I dumped just dump the soil out in the bottom of this one just to use the soil up. The other two I'd used for pulling out, like I have a lot of this calendula and the lupins, and I just stuck it in that container. And then just yesterday, I was pulling out all of the extra seedlings and cleaning it up, and I was getting ready to dump the dirt, and I saw a little, I don't know where I stuck it. I think I put one in the front yard and one in the container here. I saw the tiniest little elephant ear leaf. And I pulled it out, and it was on the tiniest little stick with two little roots that are like the size of a grain of rice. So yay, I didn't kill all my elephant ears, and boo, if any of them survive, they're like 2 feet down under soil in the pot. So that's unfortunate. That's very, very unfortunate. So now I know for next year to wait and to keep it Thank you very much, Wesik. Hey, Felicia, hopefully you're in already. Sorry. Feel free to skip through the ads when you're joining a live. I don't mind. Like, don't watch the ads if you're joining a live. You'll never make it in on time. Unless it's like 30 seconds. But yeah, someone keeps coming in and digging up stuff, and it's not Dexter. I can't blame him. He usually tries to do his best at chasing them off, but I think they're coming in when he's not here. So this is my small little garden, and here it is at the beginning of the season, and it's going to be really exciting just to watch things fill in and grow. And I'm really curious to see, especially like the stuff I'm growing for the cut flowers. Oh, I didn't talk about, I have yarrow in here. I have the yarrow pastels mix, and then I have feverfew. I have celosia, gomphrena, and then I have some petunias. All of these snapdragons either self-seeded or they came back from the original plant. So like this one here, I know people don't believe it happens, but it does. So I'm in a zone 5B, and I just snapped that one off. Oops, we'll stick that in, see if it roots. Probably won't. But you can see here, this is the original plant from last year. And it's still alive. And we had a super cold and super heavy snowy winter. And so a lot of these, they've just all self-seeded or come back. So that's another thing that's on my wish list for next year is I want to get some of them at Butterfly, and I want to increase my Snapdragon collection, I guess we shall say. That's what I want. So, hey, Ecocentric Homestead, how are you doing today? Welcome in. Thank you. Spent a lot of time and effort and work, but thankfully a lot less money because almost everything was grown from seed except for, like I said, the King Tut, nope, Prince Tut grass, a couple of the sweet potato vines, and then I remember what the other thing I had bought was the asparagus fern, which is kind of getting squished. Something's been jumping on it, but I'm hoping that fills in. I really like that big tropical vibe. So this planter here, the two planters were supposed to each have an elephant ear in on each side with cannas and a Prince Tut in the middle, but plans changed when they didn't survive, but then they might have survived. So it's one of those happy accidents, I guess. But so I'm interested to see what's going to happen over here with the beans. So they should have plenty of room. Oh, I keep forgetting to flip it back and forth when I'm walking and talking. I just have like my cages stuck here, which is probably not a good idea because the vines are going to start climbing on some of those. So I'm hoping they go onto the trellis area and shade my lettuce in the back. And then I have a lot of these self-seeded violas, so I'll probably pull that one out and stick it in here. And those have self-seeded. Oh, where did that come from? Like seriously, these giant weeds just show up overnight. But I have a lot of nice fresh herbs. The dill has been really good. I've got cilantro in here. And then this one down here, this is my second round on the lettuce. So I apologize if I've already shown you stuff in my other live and then I had to redo the live because that one crashed. So this dill came up out of nowhere. I should probably move it, but I probably won't. Parsley, this survived winter in this little pot all winter long. It stayed in here. It stayed alive. The dill. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. And then I have cilantro here, and then chervil, and then parsley, and lots of dill. So I had a ton of dill that's self-seeded in the yard. So if you ever plant dill, you will always have dill. But I love using it in bouquets, so it is totally fine. I'm hoping to get a nice cut flower garden going this year. That's the plan. I don't know what's going on with my nasturtium. It's not super happy, but hopefully it will be. This is all self-seeded as well. The amaranth. I don't know why I can never remember the word amaranth. I struggle remembering that. So it feels weird being done at this point. So it's going to be really exciting. Where rose, marigold flower. You know what? I do not like marigolds. I'm sorry, I don't like marigolds. I don't like the traditional color of the marigold. And then I bought the vanilla marigold seeds and I grew those one year and they were constantly covered in earwigs and they went kind of like a brownish color. And I don't know. I'm not a big marigold fan. I know a lot of people love them. I don't for some reason. I'm not a marigold person. I wish I'd had some geraniums. I'm definitely going to try some geraniums from seed next year. I've seen a lot of other people start their seeds and they're doing really well. So I would like to try some geraniums. To show you my begonias. Oh, those are all out front. The begonias and the patience and the pansies, those are all out front and they're doing really, really well. But I'm not going to walk out front and do a live in the front yard right now. My neighbors think I'm weird enough as it is. Um, but those are all doing really well. So I did start the begonias from seed and they say they can take anywhere from 30 to 60, no, it's like 60 or 90 days. Fortunately, they germinated pretty quickly on the heat mat. So this year was the first year I used the heating mat, and it did seem to make a big difference with certain plants. Certain ones didn't seem to mind so much, but the tomatoes, the peppers, actually my tomatoes did not do so well this year. And I think a lot of it was I had old seeds for a lot of things. But like these impatiens went crazy. So all of the really nice, pretty big impatiens are all out in the front yard because I did those planters first, so they got the pick of the draw. And then, are you going to be a pill? Yeah, I think you are. You can come up, but you have to sit calmly. He's not sure about that. Hey, Wild Home, how are you guys doing? Thank you so much. Everyone keeps telling me, oh, too bad you don't have a bigger yard, and oh, I lost you. Did I lose you again? I've had so many people tell me, oh, it's too bad you don't have a bigger yard and whatever. And I'm like, well, I would love a bigger yard, but I do at the same time think, oh my God, that would be so much more work. But you know what? I probably wouldn't. I probably could have the same amount of plants in like 3 times the space and you wouldn't really notice because I just cram everything in. Like spacing requirements go out the window. Because I've grown this stuff from seed, it's getting planted. So the front yard, I'll have to do an update video on that one. They're really filling in, especially the ornamental kale is getting huge in that front container. It's really doing well. And the pansies are just looking absolutely beautiful. So I will film a garden update video. I don't know if I'll do it today or not. The lighting's actually probably pretty good, but it's kind of weird. It's so smoky and hazy. And if you're wondering what that noise is, that would be Dexter under the chair chewing on a bone on the deck and chasing it around. So he loves being out in the garden. He loves being outside. And he's excited for patio season. So Heartland with Dink and Take. Welcome in. Tamara, how are you doing this morning? Let me see. I hope I haven't missed anyone's comments while I was wandering around aimlessly. You have marigolds to keep the deer away from the petunia. Seems to work. That's great. Yeah, I don't have to worry about deer. That fence is high enough. Oh, leaf just landed on me and scared me. The fence is high enough to keep any deer out. We have had a deer on our street years ago, but there's so much buildup before. Because before, as you can tell, there's a train track right behind the house there, behind that wall. And previously, like when we moved in, that was just all fields, farmland, right on the edge of town. And now that's all filled in, so it's houses and stuff. So we don't have as much of the wildlife, but we used to get, there was a deer on the street a couple times. We used to have a fox a handful of times that would come. And we get raccoons a lot, though. The raccoons love to walk along the fence all the way down and taunt Dexter and drive him nuts. So I don't like to let him out in the backyard when the raccoons are out. We get skunks sometimes. We get squirrels. We get chipmunks. And yeah. Let's see. Bigger yard is not necessarily more weeks. It means you don't run out of. Yeah, exactly. It just. It's like a bigger house. Growing up when we moved into a bigger house, it was actually easier to keep clean because there was space for everything to have its own space. So that is true. And if it was flat, if the garden was flat, I could do set up like a drip system or something. But like we tried doing like soaker hoses back in the day. Did not work at all. It just flooded out the bottom of the hill. So I just have to hand water everything basically. So Our backyard is fenced, but we have planters in front too, and we have a river. Oh yeah, nom nom nom. Yeah, I know the deer can really be a pain in the butt. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that here. I grew up with a train right across the road, loved it so much. Yeah, I don't mind. Like sometimes there's a freight train, and I think they're decommissioning a lot of the older ones because it used to like rattle the house at night. Sometimes you'd sit up in bed like thinking a train was coming through. We don't have as many of those go by, but I don't mind it. Like even at night, you hear it go by. It's kind of it always just makes me wonder. Um, what's happening. Someone's going somewhere. I wonder what's on the cars. It's fun to watch. We can see it from the bedroom window. You can't really see it from the living room though. And I may or may not have flashed the train on numerous occasions, accidentally, not on purpose. Um, and it's funny. So I used to have a dress form I sew as well. If you don't know, I also do a lot of sewing, like my top. Um, and so I used to have a dress form, and I didn't really have anywhere else to put it, so I put it right in front of my window. And whatever I was working on or sewing or whatever, I would kind of put it on the dress form and work from it from there. And then I was thinking one day as I'm standing there looking out and a train's going by, people on the train from a distance, you can't tell it's a dress form. And they're probably like, oh my gosh, that lady is standing in her window every single time I go by on the train. And it doesn't matter what time of day it is, it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, that lady is in the window. And honestly, it's scared me a few times. I was out in the garden and I looked up and I'm like thinking someone was in my bedroom. So it's been moved. It's in the closet now. I felt the same way. It was a comfort to hear the clang. Yeah, I have it. Well, that just means I have way too many hobbies on the go and I spend way too much money on my hobbies. So I have like my seed hoarding stash and then the one thing about seeds though is they don't take up as much room as fabric. Fabric takes up a heck of a lot of room and it's usually more expensive. So the seeds are gardening is actually a cheaper hobby than sewing, believe it or not. But just like in my garden sewing, I'm always looking for a good deal. I buy stuff on clearance and I go to a lot of the local, we have a lot of local like Indian and import type fabric stores and you can get some really good deals there. So that's where I like to do most of my poor Dexter. So we have a doggy door on the screen door and it's not very big. He can fit through it, no problem, but he can't fit through it if he's carrying anything. So sometimes he'll be stuck on the other side of the door and he'll start crying because he's got his bone in his mouth and he wants to come out onto the deck and he can't. Or vice versa, he'll be out here with his bone and he wants to come back in the house and I'll hear him out here crying. I'm like, what's wrong? And I'll come and he's standing there with his bone sticking out of his mouth or his stuffed toy. And so he can't come in. You like looking at the garden next? Yeah. So he likes just wandering around, sniffing everything. As soon as I touch any of the tomato plants, like when I was planting them or if I do any pruning on them or anything, he has to immediately come and see what's going on because he loves tomatoes as much as Gizmo did. And this is his spot here. Are you sunbathing? This is where he likes to lay because this way no one can get inside or outside that door without him knowing. Right? Is that your spot, Dex? You're sunbathing? Yeah. You're so tired. Oh my goodness, you're exhausted. Yeah. Oh, and this is my new Costco is clearing out these trellises. So I have one here. This is the larger one, and then I have the smaller one. So I bought it, of course, after I'd planted everything up. So I just stuck it in my chives pot for now, but I don't know where it's gonna go. I might put it in one of the larger containers, but I just stuck it in there for now. Who's a good boy? Who's mommy's good boy? Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to call it a day. So yeah, I probably won't be doing my live tonight. I thought, you know what? I don't know if I'm the evenings, you know what, the evenings are so nice and we like to go to the park, we like to go out for a walk. And so doing my live at 7:30 during the spring and summer is kind of a little awkward. It runs into timing and stuff. And also my daughter is staying after school today she's part of this they're doing a performance tomorrow in school, so she has to stay after for rehearsal today. So I'm gonna have to go pick her up after and she has no idea what time, so I'm gonna have to go and do all that. So I figured, you know what, I have the time this morning. We're not working this morning. I'm just gonna come out. The garden's looking beautiful, and I'm just gonna tour around and show you guys everything. And don't worry, I will do an actual garden tour video because this one was really hodgepodge and all over the place. But I do appreciate those of you that came in, those of you that stuck it out and saw the first video, which was a disaster. Sorry about that. I lost my connection. I was all over the place. But anyways, I appreciate everyone that came in. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see y'all when I see you. So take care. And Dexter says goodbye. You say goodbye, Dexter? Say goodbye.